Hey, welcome back to Midsa Creek Farm. I'm Katie. We are a diversified farm in northern Wisconsin, and this is Memorial Day weekend, so I thought I would give you a good garden update, garden tour, and let me tell you, I'm so far behind, there is not much to it. I am trying to do as much as I possibly can and as quickly and efficiently as I can, and it feels like I'm just running around in circles at this point. But over here, the north side of my high tunnel, I have this beautiful row of peas that are doing awesome. So I have about 3/4 of them trellised, and they're really starting to grow up. I've got to push these guys over and train them to the trellis. But the ones that I was trellising a couple of weeks ago, they're already getting trained up and they are doing great. So I just got to finish with these guys before they get any bigger. Over there is our shade cloth, and over there is the chicken tractor that we kept chicks in when it was a little over freezing before the plant sale, or during the plant sale, I guess. And we had the chickens out on pasture, and we needed a place to put them for the night where they could be under the heater and everything. So we got to get that out. We got to finish cleaning up all of that disaster over there. But then over here, we have our tomato beds. And I have 2 more beds and 1 big row to plant yet. But I am making progress on that, so that is good. So these guys here, I just planted yesterday. These ones I planted 2 days ago. These ones I planted at the beginning of May, as well as these ones here. Look how big they are. And I've seen all of them out of these 2 beds have blossomed. So I feel like we're doing really good. This is my do not prune bed. So I'm going to come in and get the bottom ones off so that we have good airflow. Otherwise, these guys are just going to go crazy over here, which is why I have them here. So then that way they're on the edge. We can have some ventilation going on them if we need to. And they're close to the wall. They're not on the inside of all the tomatoes. That way, if we have any issues with disease or anything like that, we can get some ventilation going pretty easily in here. There's some of my peppers. Here's some of the tomatoes that need to go in these 2 beds yet. But these guys here are doing really, really good. And this bed right here is the one that I had put the wool pellets in to see how I could compare the wool pellets to the regular. So these beds that are up in the front, I'm going to have wool pellets in. Those ones back there are going to be just my normal planting. And I am noticing that the wool pellet bed as of right now is not drying out hardly at all. The only reason why I am watering about once a week over here is because I have these plants that are here in pots and those are drying out. And so I have to water those guys, but the bed is doing amazing. We have a little monarch in here. Come here, buddy. So my goal today is to get the rest. You can see I have all the tables from the perennials out of here and get the rest of that cleaned up, get soil in those 2 beds, and then get all of these picked up off the ground and put over here so that we can start folding the ground cover over so that I can get in and get working in here. So I have a pretty big project that I have to do today, and obviously allergies are kicking my butt. The popple pollen is absolutely crazy right now. So it's getting to me. The last few days have been really rough. So I'm going to do as much as I can, as quickly as I can. And then hopefully then that way I am able to just start actually working in here for my own garden. And even though it is raining, let's go outside quick and look at the flowers here along the black fence because I worked a lot in here yesterday. What I ended up having to do is the rest of the perennials that were in there, I shouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them, I wanted to get planted here in front of the fence, and I needed to get them out of there. So I knew that I probably wouldn't prioritize planting them if I didn't do it as I was moving them out. So yesterday I got this whole thing weeded and got a whole bunch of stuff planted. I have like 4 or 5 asters I got to plant in there, and then that is done. So you can see that my tulips and my daffodils are pretty much done. Down there I have a few more. There must have been some later blooming varieties. My allium It is looking beautiful. I planted this Galadaria. There's quite a few in here, but look at my lupine. They are looking beautiful. So I can't wait to see all those flower. I put in some bee balm. There's some taller Galadaria. More lupine. Look at this tulip. That is so beautiful. Lupine is so cool. Get the water just run off those leaves, beat up. Down here at the end, my grapevines look like they're doing good. I've never actually grown grapes before, but it looks like we're gonna have some this year, so that's exciting to see. I planted the grapes as bare root plants a couple years ago, and just as kind of an experiment, so I am happy to see that, and I'm just gonna leave them on that trellis. I'm gonna leave them there. They seem to be enjoying life and appreciating it, so that's a good spot for them. And up at the stone coop, I planted a whole bunch of other perennials as well, and it is looking really nice there. At the end last night, I threw in a couple more Galadarias, you can see there, but I have everything looking really nice in here. So when these guys bunch out, they're gonna look great. There's a lot of, these are white daisies, and then these are echinacea. There is some mums, and we have asters. These are false sunflowers. And over here we have, I think this is baby's breath. Looking good. So that's not really much of a garden tour. This is gonna be so much more filled the next time you guys see this. I'm hoping that by next weekend at this point, I will have the high tunnel here almost completely done. I've not started planting pumpkins yet. Like I said, I'm really far behind, and so we are trying to figure out how to prioritize everything that needs to get planted as I plant it. But I'm really excited that I have 20, 40, 60, I have about 75, 76 tomato plants already planted. So I'm really excited about that. And usually this is the weekend when people can finally plant, because our last frost date was just this weekend. So really, I'm not far behind for gardeners in our area, but for me, because I do things a little different and I'm growing things in the high tunnel and all of that, I really am feeling like I'm far behind. But really, when I think of, it's been super warm this spring, this is normally when people plant, is this weekend, this upcoming week. I'm not as far behind as I think. That is it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.